Yeah, Prof here. Bit of a walk and talk here. You can see who's waiting now. Miss Paisley. Hey, Paisley. You're right where we're gonna do some unboxing. Yeah, right there. Yep. Hey. Yeah, are you a cute kitten? Tell everybody, yeah, you gotta check out the Twitter where I've stolen the steel case chair. Yep. It's now mine. Dang cats think they own everything around here. Yeah, you're the kitten? The cute little kitten? Alright, so you can kind of see what this video is going to be about. Kustoms. Oh, you can see their previous pen right over there that I picked up. Before then, though, we got our new phone cases here. I ordered MagSafe cases for David and I. Paisley, your ass is like right where I need to be. So, David ordered a red Ultem. 2 cases. There we go. Paisley's moving. David ordered a red Ultem. Azure blue. Me. I ordered 3 different ones. I couldn't. Bluish pink. Glacier blue. And this is general purpose red. So these are all case buttons. Depending on your case type, the S23 Ultra could not have them. I checked, otherwise I would have bought my mom a color. So these are mine. I couldn't decide what color. They're like $1, so not the end of the world. Squares wanted red. General purpose red. So we've got 2 cases here. There's mine. Ooh. There you go. I feel like it's got some 90s Initial D vibes. I forget who. Obviously, I can't swap this on right now because we're using the camera that we're on here. MagSafe compatible. Shootco is the name of the piece of artwork. I forget. I should probably look this up. Twitter. Collaborations, Rhino Shield. It is Vinne. V-I-N-N-E. Vinne. And that's the Shootco one. He's got quite a few different things if my thing was working. I liked this one the best, like I said. He's got a lot of like motorcycles, cars, that sort of stuff. It's just had a really cool vibe. And you can see with this, like I went, okay, so the colors of things. We have a dark blue, which you can kind of go in the, like it's almost like dark blue purple down there. Which is, this one is azure blue. That was kind of like my least favorite color. On her shirt is like a pink, so that's why I got this bluish pink. Or blush pink, not bluish pink. Blush pink. And then I have the glacier blue, which should either more go with the car's whitish blue. Like it's like a very, very bluish white, or the like sort of pants there. So that's kind of what I was going for. David, Sir Squeers went with there you go. This one he went with, which is Bug Cat Cat Poo. So there you go. Bug Cat Cat Poo right there. And then went with a red button because of the red blood on his face. Bug Cat Cat Poo. So I'm going to bring that to work for him tomorrow. Leave it in our desk that we share. And make sure he gets that. Slide open those up since they're here. I actually don't mind this purple Ghost in the Shell case, the replacement that they sent me. Personally, though, black cases are just better. You're like, why? Well, then it's harder to see the border of the phone compared to a brighter case. Second time ever that the FedEx thing has opened. The only annoying part is that even though you rip it there, you still have to do this. Duh. Oh, they sent one in there. Awesome. They're awesome. Okay. So, you guys have seen this guy. One of their best-selling ones recently, which is the Decograph. Ultem Decograph with they have the new Jowo nibs. I got the EF, which is the finest point they had at the time. This is batch 2. They ran out of the first batch before I even was able to order. Well, they also, you might be able to tell by that Ultem grip there, have another Ultem. And if you're running, why so many pieces? Prof, why so many pieces? Here you go. What's with all this? Well, this is the Keras Ink V2. And King Arthur has shown up. King Arthur? Yeah. What's up to it? Hey, dude. Yeah, what's up? He's walking on the edge of my bed like the footboard. You could probably see it there. So, you're like, huh, that looks familiar. Way back, you might have seen both Squeers and I unboxed one of these, which is a battle-worn ink. I don't think this is a V2, I think it's a V1. The reason why is this is a one piece up here. Whereas on the new one, it's a two piece. So there's a grip. And if you're wondering, why do you have an Ultem grip and a black grip? Well, I ordered the black grip because they didn't have Ultem available. But then I was like, hey, because obviously they make the Ultem one for this. Can I have an Ultem one? I didn't expect them to also send the aluminum one, but I did reach out about like not receiving my order confirmation, a bunch of other stuff, and they said, yep, you can send it. I was thinking they were just going to send the aluminum, or like instead of the aluminum grip, like, okay, so on this one, this is one piece. The tip and the grip are one piece. And yes, that's the end of a Hi-Tec-C jammed in the end of a full Hi-Tec-C, which is then just jammed in the tip, like this collar here. I just jam in the tip like that. It actually works very well. And then I put in, you could use a spring. I noticed that this spacer, which was from a click style Hi-Tec-C that sticks out a little bit, that is the perfect length to just jam this down the back of here. And what's just nice is that it gives me another option for full-size Hi-Tec-C. And when I mean like full-size, yeah, like not non-click style. The click style Hi-Tec-C rates like shit compared to the like full original stick pen style, and I felt like it would fit in here, and it did. Even though these are designed for G2, that's mostly just because that's what Keras uses now. Even though they originally started out with their Keras maybe it'll hit me. My brain does not remember. I need to look it up. They discontinued it now. Render K. That was the original. It was Hi-Tec-C because a lot of the original, like custom machined pens were Hi-Tec-C. So I have an ink. I think this is an ink, not an ink V2. buddy Adrian actually had a Decograph V1, basically this guy. I think he had it in Rollerball, not Fountain, though. Most people, I think, prefer Rollerball. Now, the Decograph, at least the Ultem Decograph, not available as such. It's basically the Decograph is a fountain pen for them, from my understanding. So if we go to like fountain pen accessories, aluminum Vertex. I really want a Vertex. Fountain K is the fountain pen version of the Render K. There's Ink V2 grips, Vertex grips. There's no Decograph grips. Render K section, Ink V2 section. Clip things, other products. Let's see here. And it's just a bunch of random shit. Vertex O-ring. And Ink V2 cap O-ring. K-series O-ring. Yeah. So Decograph is he might have a fountain pen. I didn't think so though. It might have gotten like a Decograph V1 or something that was available in Rollerball. This, however, is the Ink V2. Now it is available. You can buy Rollerball adapting parts for the fountain pen version. They did also sell just a straight Rollerball version, because you're like, well, if you're just going to adapt this to a Rollerball, why not get the Rollerball version? I feel like this one tapers more quickly. And this is a battle worn. If you guys are wondering, like, why does it look like all like dinged up and the edges look all thing? Well, that's why it's dinged up. Like either the anodizing was done poorly or it got wrecked during manufacturing. That's also why it's just silver here. And what they do is they like purposely wear them more to call them battle worn like that. And you get them for like half price or nearly 40% off. Now, this one, not as much. This is my olive battle worn EDK. This one, I think, was done purposefully. And because if you look at the finish, like this finish, it's so good. The olive finish, except where it's battle worn. I'm a sucker for the olive colors. You guys probably know that. And I thought this thing looked amazing. So battle worns can look good. And a lot of them times too, with these, remember, because they're not designed to be together, often what Screws and I would do is buy 2, or we've had other people in buy 3, and then what you can do is swap parts around. Like, say if this came as green and blue, and this one came with purple and black, if you wanted blue and black, you could swap around cap and body in order to make that happen. So here is the Ink V2 fountain pen version. If you look, this clip had to be changed from here. I think because of like the material. If you notice, this is actually a thinner clip than on this one here. But they had to change up like how it was milled for the Ultem, effectively. Ooh. Yeah, I think I prefer the Decograph when it comes to, because this has got more oomph in the hand. Yeah, this is a thinner pen on the Decograph. Like the pen part is smaller and thinner compared to the Ink V2. But the reason why, like I was saying, the reason why I got the fountain pen variant is because you could buy the Rollerball variant directly from them for a little bit cheaper. I got an F because I don't know if specifically the Ink V2 is not available in EF. But basically it was not available at the time as EF. So this one works a bit different. So if you notice, there's a grip section. The threading's down there. And then that's like that for the... is slightly different for the Decograph here. So a much finer thread here. Right? Much finer versus that. And there's no internal threading there. And this is using a fine nib because the Ink V2 was not available in the extra fine. I prefer the extra fine, I think, at least on the Bach nibs, it's roughly equivalent to a 0.5. Jowo. I don't know if it's similar or not. But yeah, this thing threads together really nice. The look of it, you know. And I knew I was picking up the Ink V2 when they came out with it. Now what I'm going to do is carefully store this in case I do want to run fountain pen in it, right? Because I could suck it up into this guy here, or swap a refill in. They give you a couple of refills. What my intention is to do though is take this, be very careful with it, and keep it, because that they will not sell you. Like, you know, if this comes as Ultem, right? They will sell you. You can modify it into Rollerball, or you can buy it stock, brand new as a Rollerball, right? What I did is I bought, since you can't buy the fountain pen, like you can't swap the Rollerball to the fountain pen, because all the tips made and stuff. I'm sure you could get a replacement if you had to. They just don't sell it. What I did though is spent a couple extra dollars and got. This was extra. I did not pay for that one. I did, however, pay for what's all in here, which is, okay, this is the normal stuff. You get your stickers, your pen type, where it's, you know, like here you go, your Bach, Jowo, steel size F, number 6, tested by, bada bing, bada boom, and then you get your 2 refills in there, right? So what I did here is, this is the adapter kit. It includes the tip for the and the tip for the Ink V2. Now what they want you to do, and what I don't want to deal with personally, is they want you to disassemble it even further. And you're like, what do you mean by that? Here, I'll show you. So this, you have this guy, which is the one I originally ordered, which is the black aluminum. I thought it was the least worst. You know, that could look fairly good with this. You know, look at that. Looks fine, right? You know, especially because there's already black on the thing here. Now, what I would prefer was if I could get a Ultem grip, and they did send me an Ultem grip. Because then I could basically make what they did when they sell you the pre-made Ultem. Now there's threading here, so what they would want you to do is take this portion, right, and actually unthread the nib from the grip to make the to use this adapter for the Rollerball adapter, right? I didn't want to deal with that, so that is why I bought a second grip. In addition to the adapter, or in this case, then I asked nicely, and I was like, "Hey, can I have an Ultem grip?" It is really pouring outside, like really, really pouring. Did this thing's threading go, or is it just stuck in there? Definitely a lip of some kind. I need something kind of soft-ish. Q-tip. That'll do it. Alright, so you guys are maybe wondering what I was talking about. There's a little bit of milling still left on. Yeah, and that is exactly why this part here was not threading into there. So that is what I didn't want to have to mess with. I want to do this once, and then if I want to swap to a Rollerball, what I want to be able to do is just swap this portion. And what I should be able to do is they include, I thought they had a spacer at the back. Looks like they might just include a spring. Right? 2 springs. One for the front, one for the back. Let's double check that. Going down the hole. Alright. Down the hole. Alright, then we go pop back on. Then we pop back on. And bada bing, bada boom. We now have a Rollerball Ink V2. Alright. There you go. And then you grab your... Now, I'm probably going to use that way more often than... now, that thing is not keeping it straight. I'm going to have to message him and be like, hey, was there supposed to be a spacer sent? Because that spring is doing its job, but it's really overcompressed. I thought they included an exact spacer for this guy. Now, the one thing I want to try right quick is, yeah, because without a spacer or a spring, that just falls to the bottom and that's not going to be compressed enough. Right? So that might be why they sent 2 G2 springs. Don't know for sure. We're going to steal the Uniball refill out of this smooth operator V2. Oh, this needs a... I need to swap that to a G2 spring, I think. So this is a Uniball refill instead. An already modified Uniball refill. That's what I would prefer to use. Otherwise, we'll use a juice up, probably not. I don't like G2s. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I need the proper spacer, though. Be better. For sure. Yeah, because when you press down with the spring, it just goes in. Of course it would. Here. You push down to right, it just goes in. So I'll have to message them and be like, hey, I think a spacer was supposed to be included. I got 2 springs, but the spring, like as soon as you start writing, is going to push in. Like it's like bung, 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 bung. So I'm very appreciative of the Ultem grip, you know, because then I can get the more Ultem vibe going with the black tip there. I mean, I might as well show you guys what it looks like with the black grip as well, since I can. And show you, I don't think it would look too bad. Yeah. I just didn't see this futz in here. I am not worried about adding this tip in. Right, that makes it like the pre-made tip that's in that other one, right? Not worried about that. I'm worried about the other portion, getting the fountain pen tip out without wrecking it. So here's how it would have looked without the Ultem grip. Not the worst thing in the world, but I feel like too much black. You know? So that's why it never hurts to reach out, guys. Now, I was rather surprised to see that that I got both the Ultem grip and the black aluminum one, but we go. Got that guy on there. Let's put all this in here. The other thing I could do, here's another thing for those wondering, is, you know, this is using the G2 spring. I have a bunch of those from Tactile Turn that are actually stronger, that I do not like for ones like generally the slim bolt. I prefer to have the G2 spring. Like I always replace I always replace the Tactile Turn spring on the slim bolt for their stuff over here. Like I'm gonna try doing it on that one right now. With the away from the Tactile Turn one and to the G2, from the Tactile Turn to the G2. I could actually put in the Keras one of the Tactile Turn ones, because it is much stiffer. That could be advantageous. What we're going to do now, though, is pop that off and pop one of these on. Because I haven't bought fountain pen ink yet. And I'm just gonna take this guy for now, and I feel like the back side of that's different than the other one, huh? I don't know, they're fine. Yeah, I do think the Decograph is just a better... I don't know, if you want like something a bit meatier back here, this one's also really freaking clear. You know, even compared to the other parts on the ink. I just feel like looks-wise, the Decograph is a better shape. But I'm a sucker for these Ultem pens, so yeah, kind of get it going. You guys know the best way to do that. I think for the refillable ones, you can actually just, when because you run it the one way to suck up ink, you can just run it the other way a little bit to get the ink going. I wonder if you have to advance it then. It's been a while for my that rain is wicked out there right now. I can already tell this is more bold. I don't know if the F is like a size 0.7 or what, but I can already tell it's definitely more bold. Took a while to get the other one going. Get a tap on the refill a little bit too. That's what I was doing. A little bit, just it's definitely not like the Rapidographs Rotring Rap. Oh, we lost a slice of power there. I don't know if you guys saw the flicker in the lighting. Just a little dip. me know if you guys can hear that in the back of the microphone. Back of the microphone in the background. There you go. We got her going. Yeah, that's definitely more bold. A little bit more control, I'd say, though. Like, I just managed to cross thread this already. What in the heck? Should be triple threaded like cross as normal stuff so it doesn't happen. Does not thread back in as nicely as the Decograph either. It fits much more snugly. I think it's because it's not going into it, it's lining up perfectly with it. Pro tip with fountain pens, you gotta actually write with them in order for them to write good. Or write consistently. Yeah, I wouldn't say... That's the EF tip. So that's EF. Some older ones are F. So here's F. Definitely more bold. Not considerably so, though. You do have a bunch more pressure you can do. If you put much more pressure, it does make a significantly more bold line. Interesting. Like I said, I haven't used fountain pens regularly for years. The only thing I will say is between these two, if you're looking for a fountain pen, Decograph, for sure. I don't know, it's just, this does have a nice flush on the body here. I don't know, this just feels more fountain penny to me, if that's a thing. And that just goes in there much more nicely. This has got a bit of breaking, seems like. But a little bit thicker in the body too because it meets up with the cap versus here where it goes into the cap, right? So the one I'm really missing that I should have gotten years ago is the Vertex. That was their original Ultem pen. Not only like the original like a fountain pen or whatever, but it was their first pen they did in Ultem. Oh god, I forgot how fat the ink is. It doesn't make it all the way into the bottom of their own holder because it goes so fat here that they have their own their cross cube, right? And it just wedges itself in there. It's not the worst thing because it is a protected thing, but normally they go all the way down. Hey, we got another flicker of lights. That's how bad it is storming, for those wondering, is we just had all those flickers. And there's another thunder. Should have like a little thing of G2 springs. G2 Springas. And you're like, oh, what do you need G2 Springas for? Well, what we need them for is We're going to try the Smooth Operator Gen 2 with and without. It comes default with the standard tactile turn spring, which is a little bit more coarse. And here's what you run into. It's a little bit longer and a little bit coarse, so you can't get it all the way closed, even with the bolt all the way up. Oh, it's going crazy. King Arthur's up. He's like, what the frick's going on? There you go. It's got a real snap to it. Let's try G2 spring, because normally with the slim bolts and the slim side clicks, I swap out the standard tactile turn spring to a G2, and yeah, here, watch this. It's not separated anymore. You can just line it right up, screw it on. Much better. Being that the brake is here, just so you guys know, it's not as bad. There is some alignment you have to do. I'm gonna say the first or second time, if you watch the original video of this one, Squeers did mess it up and it like pinches because it can't go down all the way. It's much worse on the standard, like a standard slim pen, like for example the Sprout, right? And the reason why is because the spring is down in here and it actually extends past, like up into the body like that, and what ends up happening is it actually pinches on the seam right there, so then you can't actually get it screwed all the way, or if you do, you can't actually press it down and out, because this spring being longer ends up like bunching up and going to the side and making itself too wide and getting pinched in there. I think I've showed that on a video before. This just feels way better with the G2 spring. The Smooth Operator, I don't think it needs it, but assembly, at least if you're using the like a Uniball refill, which is what's in here, and probably the standard G2 as well, is just much nicer than with the spring that it comes with, right? They also do give you a Parker spring. I think that's even a little bit longer, and you got to flip the bolt over. So this one's just going back in the box, but that is why I got a little baggie of G2 springs. Karas sold them. They're probably overpriced for what they are. It turns out if you really need a bunch of them, you can buy like a pack of 100 off of Amazon for dirt cheap. That sticks out. I feel like this is sticking out way too far. I don't know. Do I keep rocking the Uniball in the Smooth Operator Gen 2, or do I go to like a juice up? Let me know down below. But yeah, swap that back to a G2. I'm gonna put this in the box for the Smooth Operator Gen 2. And let me know what you guys thought about the Ink V2. I do still have to reach out to them about getting the spacer for the bottom, because 2 springs does not work very well, because when you push down it pushes the refill back. You really need that spacer. I'll just rock it in fountain pen form for now, just like, yeah, like it should be. I do think the ink works better as a fountain pen than it does as a rollerball, but if I'm going to spend as much as you spend on these pens, being that I write more often with like a gel pen or a rollerball, that's why I bought the conversion kit right away. Also, that's also why I went with the fountain pen variant, is because you can buy this brand new as a fountain pen and convert it to a rollerball. The other is not as easily accessible. I want to say it was like $20 or so for the parts to convert to the rollerball. So worth it in my opinion. I'll probably once I get the spacer. I'll probably switch it over to that. So definitely have to be more careful with the ink, because it wants to do this, which my old ink, Battle Worn, never wanted to do, oddly. So I'm going to take a picture and send it over and see. I have a feeling it's because they did it out of Ultem. And see, there you go, it goes right away. Normally they use triple. Well, I can't. I have to put like a mark or something, but. So 1, 2. Yeah, they're only using double threading here. That might be a space constraint issue or something else, but I feel like that's why it's getting caught up in the lid, is because it's not using the triple threading. Which we got 1. Oh, this one's also, is it only double? 2. I don't know, something about it. That goes in right away, bang on. And this one just fights. I mean, obviously if it does fight, don't push. It's plastique, you know, so scribble, scribble, scribble. Interesting. I'm gonna shoot him a couple messages. Either way, personally, not a fan of. I shouldn't say not a fan. As a fountain pen, I prefer the Decograph. Having spent 5 minutes with either of them, I mean, I've spent a better part of a week or so with that one, and then 5 minutes with that one. Having the old Rollerball version, I'm gonna send him a picture of that because it really wants to do that. Unless I very explicitly make sure it doesn't. So, I'm not going to say it's an issue. You just got to make sure, especially because it's plastic, that you're lining it up correctly. And if you do bind a little bit like that, don't keep going. You know, back off, spin it back, screw it back on. Just seems a bit odd because I have the other ink, the metal ink V2 and the Decograph that every time nail it. So. Well, we'll see if anything's up or not. I don't know. When you spend this much on a pen, you ask. Yeah, at least I do. They helped me out with the Ultem grip. Really thankful for that. Just had to fish that little extra piece of milling out of it. It was like a thread cut off that hadn't gotten pulled out of it. Yeah, so let me know. Would you do Decograph or ink? Ignoring my troubles or not troubles or what they might be. Would you rather do the ink V2 or the Decograph? Or would it be a different one in Ultem? Because that's the main reason why I got these Ultem. Chef's kiss. Lovely material. Alright, guys. If you have any questions, comments, throw them down below. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Yeah, you got a little peek at cell phone cases. Really recommend Rhino Shield. They don't sponsor me at all. I bought them originally because of their bumpers. I wish they still made bumpers for Pixels. They only make them for iPhones anymore. My iPhone SE3 has a bumper from them on it. When I worked on site, had a phone, it had a bumper on it. I think they're rated for 12 feet a drop, just the bumpers. I think the cases are a little bit more, but they're fairly thin. Like thin as a not the Defender out of box with the size down from that, but I feel like they're built much better. They last way longer, and they take a hit better too. And I don't purposely drop my phone, but I'm clumsy. Like, you ever do the thing where you sit down on the toilet, the phone's in your pocket, you pull your pants down, and it just go tunk tunk onto the floor. Especially if it's tile, that's so risky. The Rhino Shield takes it all the time, or I'm just like some slippery, stupid person. The phone goes flying off the counter out of my hand, or it takes stuff like that very regularly, probably far too regularly. But they just make a quality case. That Squeers too. When I bought him one for his Pixel 3 or 5, I think. 3 would have still had a bumper. I think so. It would have been the 5, and he had some spigot on it or something like that. And he's just like, he popped that. I told him, here you go, pop that on there. And he's like, yeah, it just feels like it's somehow more rigid yet takes a hit better, and they just do a good job. And they don't seem like anything special. They're not that thick. And now they have other design lab. You can submit your own image. Be aware, no copyrighted stuff. Copyright works different in the rest of the world, so that means you have to have the rights to the image. That's changed over time as stuff has happened, but nowadays they also do license a ton of designs. That's where the ones you saw, both his and mine, come from. So there's probably something on there that you already like. Otherwise, if you want to make something yourself and like either take the photo yourself or actually make it, and it cannot be even fan art, you don't own the rights to that fan art. It's a derivative work. The original owner does. I know some of you might fight me on that, but that is actually how it works. Whether or not the people actually push for that or not, and in many other countries, since Rhino Shield is an international company, they're much more heavy-handed about that. So, but I feel like they've kind of tightened down that, but that was because they started working with, like, you could get free ren or what was the other one that came out of that? Even like new season anime though. Like they got the Dragon Ball Z, they got the other stuff, but they had free ren and I gotta look it up now. Wakey computer. Solo leveling. So, like, they're getting not only, like, classics, they got Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, they got stuff like that, Hunter, but they're also, like, this last season, they actually picked up, like, 2 of the bigger anime from the last season, which is kind of cool. I know free-run designs look kind of cool. The solo living ones are kind of, I would call them, like, basic, but they're fully licensed and everything, which is, hey, I can appreciate, I can appreciate. Check them out, Here's, this is the one I got, the Vinay, right there. My mom got hers from Soupy Tang here. If you like those designs. David got his. Here you go, bug cat poop. And like I said, go all the way up here. We got like some of these pre-run designs which aren't going to work because I have fingerprinting on. You need to turn off the fingerprinting, but some of these are pretty dope. Like especially these with like some negative space on there. Like not a fan of this upper left one, right? Or like the upper left one, really kind of boring. But some people might like the chibi sticker looking one. I think that upper right one's probably the best, or that one right there. And they work with the case well. Some of these other ones just seem like artwork, advertising artwork on a case. The solo leveling ones are kind of like you can get your favorite character. Some of them are. I see no reason to get one of the ones like the top one that's just got your favorite character with the background. But hey, to each their own. Or one that just says solo leveling, really. But hey, maybe that's your thing. Not mine. That's why I did like. Is it Vinny or Vin? His stuff is pretty cool here. You got some like Sailor Moon inspired stuff. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's Initial D style. You got the pink one over here. Maybe I'll go with that for the next one. You got some. It's like Japanese style artwork. There's a newer car one that is actually newer than here. That isn't part of the. Here you go. Brazilian digital artist constantly developed art style around nostalgia and Japanese culture. There you go. Yeah, the genre he's pulling from, or the generation of like Japanese artwork and style he's pulling from is like exactly in my wheelhouse. So check it out if you haven't seen their cases. I think you can get them in MagSafe too. Ever since Samsung started making MagSafe cases, tons of other brands have figured out how to make. We bought both of ours are MagSafe cases, Rhino Shield ones, 4 Google Pixels, and that's not a thing, but it is. Should be forwards compatible with Qi 2 as well, since it's the same magnet array. Well, any questions, comments, that sort of stuff? Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Come and check out more of the everyday carry pen stuff. Is a phone case everyday carry? Technically. King Arthur. Yeah. What are you up to, dude? He's checking out the garbage. Yeah. We'll leave you on that note.